The year is 1991. Birds and people are living together in seemingly perfect harmony, until one day a young man catches fire. This is Phoenix.
You've been knocked down and got up again. In a corner, you're surrounded, no defenders. You've hit your fury and kept it in. But it's time now, you ignite and turn to embers. Like a phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes. Phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes.
Get ready for verse 2, Electric Boogaloo.
You see the truth behind the veil, and you know that they're just looking for attention. Oh, you don't let the ruthlessness prevail. Oh, it's time now, light your fires for ascension. Like a phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes. Phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes. Phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes. Phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes.
The year is 1991. Birds and people are living together in seemingly perfect harmony, until one day a young man catches fire. This
Good evening. Welcome back to another Kneejerk live stream. Game week 27 is almost over. We've still got one more game to go, which is obviously Burnley's second game for their double game week against Leicester. That is on Tuesday. We got some news today that pretty much Chelsea are going to have a double game week in game week 28 as well. It just relies on either Chelsea beating Luton or Norwich beating Liverpool in the FA Cup. So I think most of us are thinking that Chelsea are going to beat Luton. And that's it. And obviously we've got a double 28 anyway. People are thinking about wildcarding. Some people are free hitting. I think there's a lot of people who are doing different stuff this week. I've got my bench boost active. I don't think that's going to change. I'm really unsure. Captains just all seem a bit rubbish. Just all seem, it's not that captains are rubbish this week. There's not really a standout, even from the double game week players. I mean, if you thought that Reece James was going to start twice, he arguably is the best captain now. But I think that's maybe a little bit risky. So yeah, which Chelsea players are worth a -4? I don't know if any of them are. I guess it depends who you're getting rid of, right? I think there'll be some differences in captains this week for sure. If I bring my team up really quickly, no, you cannot bench boost down wildcard, not in the same week anyway. I just can't go for a defender. I mean, Jose Sarr, Roman Saiss, they could be captains. Luka Dean maybe, but right now I've got it on Rafinha. I don't want to go Salah. Double game weeks all the way. I've got it on Rafinha. I did think about Jimenez, but the fact he got benched today made me a little bit worried. So yeah, I'm not quite sure. I don't know what. Maybe you're just trolling me. But and I'm going to start blocking people when they do it now because I've said I think you're trolling me. Every week now, someone says you've got the title wrong. I've got the title exactly right. We're not looking at Game Week 27 anymore. We're looking at Game Week 28. That's why Game Week 28 is in the title. I've done that every single week for about 5 years. You've got, Coutinho is good. But who do I bring in for Coutinho? I don't think I can get him. I'm not going to take out Rafinha. I'm not going to take out Son. He's got a double game week in 29. Salah's got a double game week in 29. Saka's got a double game week in 29. I just don't think I can go for Coutinho. Yeah, I mean, anyone with a double game week, I don't really want to transfer out unless they're injured. And anyone else that has a single game week has a double game week next week. So I'm actually a little bit unsure about my transfers this week or next week, to be honest. Obviously, one thing to keep in mind is we are going to know who's definitely going to blank in Game Week 30 before the Game Week 28 deadline. So if there's any cup upsets, I don't think there's going to be, by the way, but if there's any cup upsets, that might change kind of our transfer plans as well. Your top 7 midfield picks for a wildcard. I've not thought about wildcard at all yet for 28, to be honest. So I can't really help you right now. I'll have a think and do a video at some point. Yeah, I don't even like getting rid of Saka, to be honest. It's Watford, then a double game week. I know one of the games is Liverpool. What's the other game? It's Liverpool and Leicester. I mean, Leicester's pretty good, and they're both at home as well. And then Villa away in Game Week 30 is decent enough. The fixtures afterwards are okay. They've still got 2 games to rearrange as well. Saka's nailed as it gets, pretty much, right? So I don't really want to get rid of him for Coutinho. So I think right now my captain has to be Rafinha. 2 good games. I think they're a little bit unlucky not to score against Spurs as well, to be honest. What Dallas was doing, I do not know. I think Rafinha... Did Rafinha hit the post? Or was it Koch that hit the post? It was Rafinha assist. I think Rafinha hit the post from a free kick, didn't he? So Rafinha could have had multiple returns. So I don't really want to get rid of him. I know it's a new manager now. Will they be as attacking? Will he try and make them more defensive? We'll have to wait and see. When a manager's put in, of course. Ollie Slotkins, Leeds and Southampton. Yeah, it's not a bad shout. The thing is, I said to sell him because I was worried about his game time. Then he gets benched, and then he's back and he scores. So is he now going to keep playing? They played with Watkins and Ings, and Buendia missed out. So is Buendia now just going to keep missing out? I think it's hard to know with Villa. But again, am I going to use a transfer on Jimenez to Watkins or Lacazette to Watkins? Pretty much no. I don't think so. Coutinho, Ziyech, Havertz, Willock to bring in one. Willock's an interesting one because he has 4 games in the next 2 weeks. So it's a little bit interesting him. I think Coutinho for minutes. I would love Havertz if he's nailed, but how sure are you about that? Could Lukaku start one of the games? I don't know. I think I saw someone say that Havertz has now started like the last 5 games in all competitions, and he looked good again today. But if he misses a game, is anyone going to be shocked? I think Mason Mount might be the best option from Chelsea. Bro, your captain, possibly. I mean, the fixtures are good, but I don't think I go there. I think I'm going to go for Rafinha. Oh my God, excuse me. I did have it on Jimenez until he got benched today. Because I think Watford at home, Palace at home is pretty nice. But we should remember Rafinha's on penalties as well. Kind of nice. Kind of nice. Loz, how's it going? Wildcard free hit and bench boost play. I'm struggling to understand when to play them. Yeah, me too. Honestly, me too. Best thoughts on a wildcard and bench boost the week after? Well, I think realistically, you're either wildcarding this week and bench boosting 29, or you're wildcarding after game week 30 and bench boosted in game week 36. So then it depends how well your team is set up for the next few weeks. So it's hard to say. I think that's really the only two slots now for wildcards, 28 and then 31 or 32. Potentially, if you can get your team all the way through, you could save it to like game week 35 and really set up for the bench boost in 36. But I don't think you need to wait that long. Yeah, Sice or Sar could be captains, but I just don't like captaining and waiting for clean sheets. I'm definitely bench boosting, yeah. Definitely bench boosting. I hope Newcastle keep up their results and Dubravka gets at least one clean sheet. How nice would that be? Is triple captain 29 still on? Yeah, I'm definitely triple captain in Salah in game week 29 if he's fit. I don't really see any point in waiting longer, to be honest with you. Is Salah a must this game week? I guess not, because it's a double, but I would want him, yes. I'm basically new to FPL. What do you think is the most important thing to look at when picking someone? I feel like that's bait. I feel like that's bait. Have I finished? I can't answer MCU questions right now. I'm jealous of your team this week. Yeah, it's okay, but like I think a lot of the doubles, like Ramsey, is he going to be great? Broya, is he going to be great? Like Jimenez just missed a game. Sar and Sice. Like actually, Wolves' underlying numbers all of a sudden don't look. They're okay, but it's like mid-table. They're not like top 5 or anything. So all the double game week players are just a bit meh, I think, this week. I'm not building wildcards on this stream. I've not given it 1 second of thought. I don't think it would be too... I mean, in the chat, let me know if you're on wildcard this week. But I don't see how it would be much different to this team. I guess you'd add 1 or 2 more Chelsea players in, possibly. Like Rudiger, Reece James, if you're feeling confident. Mason Mount, maybe. Yeah, Kulusevski, not bad. He seems to keep playing. Good against Leeds. Fair play for anyone that punted on him. Yeah, sorry, I wasn't. I can't remember exactly how I said it. I'm not saying. I'm not asking who's on wildcard. I'm asking you kind of who are you going for. Like, I'm guessing you've given it some thought, right? I don't see it being too much different to this team, really. Maybe 1 or 2 less Arsenal players, but then you've got to get through game week 30, right? It's a shame you can't really get a Chelsea player. Well, I can. I've got 0.7 million in the bank, and I can sell Van Dijk to Rudiger, but you just gain it. I'm tempted to do it. I am tempted to do it because I don't really have a transfer for this week or next week, and I've got to use one in one of those weeks. And with the Chelsea defender, you're getting the same fixtures, right? Because Chelsea will blank in game week 30, and Liverpool probably will as well. So Chelsea would have 3 games in the next 2 games, so would Liverpool. But Chelsea games are a little bit easier, and their run afterwards is pretty good. Plus, you free up a Liverpool slot. But I just don't know if it's worth messing about with, like, before game week 30, really. Just keep Van Dijk the whole way through. Nearly scored from a corner today again. Double game week captain to choose from for next game week. Coutinho, Broya, Luka Dean, or the cycling GK. I always go attackers, but tempted to Luka Dean. Yeah, I just... Like, Southampton and Leeds are just... I think that's 2 tough games for Villa from a defensive point of view. I feel like they're both teams that can score. So I think Southampton are playing really well at the moment. And I know Leeds are not, but they always look threatening. They scored against Man United twice. One of the goals is a bit fluky, of course. They should have scored against Spurs as well. I just don't necessarily see a clean sheet. I don't think Luka Dean's bad. Like, I'd rather captain Luka Dean than Ben Foster. But I think I'd probably go for Coutinho out of those. It is slim pickings this week. I got to be honest. I think this is one of those weeks where Salah probably isn't that far behind most double game week captains. Am I confident that I won't have Cancelo for the rest of the season, or will you just buy him back at a higher price? I might buy him back. I think one thing to keep in mind with Man City is Champions League, obviously, the further they get in that, the more rotation there might be. But obviously, with everything going on right now in Ukraine, like Zinchenko, how many games is he going to start? I don't know. So I think Cancelo probably plays more often than not. And Man City's fixtures are still pretty decent after game week 30, I think. Yeah, Burnley. I mean, Liverpool Wolves is not easy, I guess. But the fixtures from like 34 onwards are great. Now, they haven't got any fixtures to rearrange right now, but they will have fixtures to rearrange because they'll get through in kind of FA Cup and stuff, you would assume. It's just how much rotation will there be here. But, yeah, I'm not ruling out buying Cancelo back. I just think for this little period we're in right now, it's not a bad time to have sold him, really. That's all. How many Liverpool players to get in on a free hit team? Just Salah. I mean, if Chelsea double, you're going to want 3 Chelsea players, probably. You at least want Rudiger and Mount, I would assume, on a free hit. You probably want Rafinha. Who else is doubling? I'm trying to think of how many double game week players you would have. I don't know if you'd go full double game week. I think you'd have Salah, maybe Trent as well, on a free hit. Again, I've not given it a huge amount of thought, but just thinking out loud. Just thinking out loud. What about Van Dijk to James and Saka or Ramsey to Havertz? Now, I'm not taking a hit. I'm not panicking just because of this double, to be honest. I do not need a hit. Unless someone gets injured, there's no hits happening for me. Especially not to bring in Havertz. I think the one thing with my midfield right now, this is going to be famous last words, they're all pretty much nailed. Like Salah's nailed, Rafinha's nailed, Son is nailed, and Saka is nailed. The only one is maybe Ramsey, but he's started so many games, he's probably nailed too at this point. So is it worth going for someone like Havertz? I mean, don't get me wrong, Burnley away, and like I'm a bit worried about that Norwich game because they smashed them early on in the season. It was 7-0. That was the game. That was the game when Havertz got nothing. So I'm a little bit worried. So I thought they were good against Liverpool. I thought Chelsea were the better team today, to be honest. We haven't talked about the Carabao Cup final. But I did think overall Chelsea were probably the better team. They definitely created the more decent chances. Obviously, Liverpool should have scored as well. Both teams should have scored. Kepa, like... the thing is, I don't think Chelsea made a mistake by bringing Kepa on. They've done it before and it's helped them, right? So you can't like begrudge that happening. I'm sure it was always planned, okay? But it's still so funny that he missed. As soon as Kelleher scored as soon as we got to penalty number 9, I was like, right, we deserve to see the goalkeepers now. And Kelleher's penalty was really good. And I thought if Kepa misses this, it was so funny. I think Chelsea were the better team overall. I felt like they created the better chances. It's not like a massive dig at Liverpool. Liverpool were good. I don't know. I felt like Chelsea's slightly better. Slightly better. But who cares, right? Liverpool won it. Happy days. I'm still listening to the same song. This is Bench Boost, yes. This is Bench Boost. Yeah, I'll be doing Wildcard, relax. Been asked that question so many times already. Oh, I didn't tweet out that I was live. Oops. I had the tweet set up and everything. Lukaku's goal was controversial. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those that when you see it, you're thinking that is onside. To be fair, right, by the way, me saying that Chelsea created the better chances. On XG, Liverpool was 1.8 to Chelsea 1.72, so it's pretty even. It was pretty even. It was a really good final for a 0-0, to be fair. Why are people removing Cancelo? Well, they've removed them already for Game Week 26. It's because he's got no double game weeks or anything like that. Again, it doesn't mean you have to get rid of him. You can tell lots of people are thinking about wildcards because not one person that I've seen so far has talked about the free hit yet. Twitter has just been full of people just reminding you the free hit was not very good this week. But for me, I think it was. For me, it was fine. For my free hit, there's not really any point in worrying about it because I set my team up to free hit anyway. I'm guessing you wanted Chelsea to win. Honestly, I couldn't care less who won. If Chelsea win, is that any better than Liverpool winning? Not really. So I really couldn't care less. Robertson for Trent? No. No chance. Dan Burn's a good shout this game week since he has 4 games in 2 game weeks. The thing is, it's still Newcastle. I know Newcastle are doing better right now. I need to change my opinions on them a little bit. But, yeah. I don't know. I mean, 4 games in 2 game weeks is decent. Like they will be good for the next couple of weeks, but then they're probably blanking game week 30. So if you can get someone in that's got 1 double game week but plays in game week 30, they've got the same amount of fixtures as Newcastle. So keep that in mind. Love my free hit, depends on your setup. Yeah, that's the problem, right? I think obviously the aim of the game is to get points, right? So yes, you should absolutely think about points when deciding if something went well or not. But obviously there is a difference between whether it literally went well and whether it was a good decision. Like, do you know what I mean? If I'd gone for double City defence instead of Mahrez and Sterling, then I would have got my points. But then I think a lot of people would say that Man City were probably quite lucky to not have a penalty given against them. That goes in, suddenly the clean sheets are wiped, and then double defence doesn't look good. I don't know. I think I'm not really bothered about going for Mahrez and Sterling. I think it was worth going for. I did think it was quite funny when Foden was the one that scored, because if I was picking a Man City mid going forward, I would always pick Foden because he's been so nailed this year. But then for the free hit, I didn't really think about him. Sancho was a little bit annoying, but it is what it is. If you didn't watch that, it's very obvious on Twitter, I thought, who did and didn't watch the Man United game, because Bruno and Ronaldo were really unlucky. And to be fair, Langa should have had something as well. and by the way, I finally got some Livramento jam. It's the first time that Livramento has come off my bench and got me points. No, Elanga's not coming on. Livramento's coming on. I'm on a green arrow, yeah. I'm on like 5,000 green arrow. I don't think my green arrows for a wild card and then a free hit are that big, really. So it probably hasn't gone as well as I hope, but I need a big bench boost and then a big triple captain. I think I'm bound to get a green arrow for the next few weeks because obviously I've wildcarded, so you'd assume that's going to happen. But it might be a bit of a struggle to keep that up for the rest of the season. We'll see. We'll see. I'm going for Rodri. He's great at basketball. Yeah, and I did think that was a penalty. Like, he had his arm up. He controlled it. I think Everton were unlucky, to be honest. Very, very unlucky. Game week 30, only 3 matches currently, but we'll know midweek what matches are on. Elanga's not coming on because you can't have 2 defenders. You have to have 3 defenders no matter what formation you play. You can play 3-4-2, you can play 3-4-3, you can play 4-4-2, 4-5-1, 4-3-3, 5-4-1, 5-3-2, but you cannot play 2-5-3. So Elanga doesn't come on, Livramento comes on for Maguire. It's quite funny because in the end people will say that's lucky, but I almost went for Tellez, and Tellez actually got 9 points instead of 8. So I'd have actually been 1 point better off if I'd stuck with Tellez. I don't know. The Maguire thing, I was a little bit worried about him starting. I tweeted about it. I actually tweeted and said, does any Man United fan disagree that Varane is the only nailed player for Game Week 27? Because I actually thought Dalot was going to play, but I was a little bit concerned because he wasn't even trusted to come on against Atletico. And then obviously Wan-Bissaka started the game before. And I had a feeling that Tellez would start. I just didn't go through with it. And then Lindelof as well. Maguire, yeah, I don't know. He's been a bit dodgy. Not maybe the last few weeks, but a few weeks before that. And Rannick's not worried. So I was right to be concerned. I just didn't follow through with my gut instinct. And I went for Maguire. But in the end, I got lucky. I did make it. I went from Tarkowski to me to be able to afford Livramento as well. So why not save triple captain for double game week 36 when a lot of others are going to use their bench boost? So a couple of things, right? It doesn't matter what anyone else is going to do. Your aim should not be to get similar amount of points in the same game week. if there's a better triple captain earlier on, you should definitely use it, right? You should only use the triple captain on whoever you think's the best captain. Obviously, yes, Salah in Game Week 26 was great, but I don't have that option now. So I'm not going to save it for 36 just because people are bench boosting. I'm going to use it now. And plus, I'm probably going to free hit in Game Week 36, to be honest. I'm not building free hit teams and I'm not building wildcard teams on this stream, sorry. I'll do a video about them if they're popular enough. Are that many people? If you're free hitting this week, put it in the chat. What's the bench glitch about? I don't know what you're on about. Are you worried about Rafinha if Leeds play defensive with Bielsa gone? I don't know how defensive they can really play. I don't think worried is the right word, to be honest. It's something that can happen, but yeah, we'll see. I'm surprised so many people are free hitting. Quite a few wild cards. Fair enough, fair enough. The best Game Week 28 captain might just end up being whichever Chelsea player plays twice, to be honest. In what scenario does Burnley Southampton become a blank? If Southampton beat West Ham in the FA Cup. Yes, you can cancel the bench boost. Yeah. You can cancel bench boost and triple captain. See, triple captain, cancel, bench boost, on. But you can't, once you activate the wildcard or free hit, that is it. You cannot go back and cancel them. To be honest, if you're not sure about what you're going to do not activate any chips until after the FA Cup games, because that could change things a little bit in terms of how we need to prepare for Game Week 28, 29 and 30. Do you know what I mean? If some people if there's a couple of upsets, which mean, like for example, right, and it's a big if, but if Norwich was somehow to get the win over Liverpool in the FA Cup, then Liverpool would be playing in Game Week 30. So they then have Game Week 28 against West Ham, a double game week, and then a game against Man United in Game Week 30, which also means if you've got any Man United players left over, they would also be playing. Now, I know what you're thinking. Liverpool guaranteed to beat Norwich. I completely agree. That's where all my money would be. But you never know. There could be an upset. And if it's not Liverpool, it could be someone else. Do you know what I mean? If Luton Town happened to get a victory over Chelsea and then Liverpool beat Norwich, well, suddenly Chelsea don't have a double game week in 28, but they do have a fixture in game week 30. So transfers and stuff like that could change quite a lot depending on what happens. Yeah, I kind of agree. I don't know if Leeds can play defensive. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. By the way, did you see the stuff with FIFA? Like, FIFA are just rubbish. They are just rubbish. Infantino, or whatever his name is, like, everyone's like, we're not playing against Russia, and they're like, well, we won't let them have their name or the national anthem, but they can still play. It's such a joke. Obviously, it's not really anything to do with FPL, but yeah, you know. Yeah, my planned move. I honestly don't have a move this week. I mean, what move do you think I should do? I've got one free transfer. I've got 0.7 million in the bank. What is my move? I actually think the best move is probably Van Dijk to Reece James. If I thought that Reece James was going to play twice, I don't know if he is. If Azpilicueta has a... if Azpilicueta has a... What's it called? Injury, then maybe. But I don't know if he went off injured, to be honest. Yeah, I saw the Polish FA just then. It basically said, the decision is totally unacceptable. We are not interested in participating in this game of appearances. Our stance remains intact. We will not play Russia, no matter what the name of the team is. Bam. That's how it should be. Screw FIFA. Could you do a free hit team? If not now, in a bit later. Yes. Rudiger or James for Game Week 28. Yeah, I think I wouldn't. I don't want to sit on the fence, but I would want to see. I would want to hear Tuchel speak about Reece James, and just I don't know. He's not going to tell us if he can play twice, but if he gives us some indication about his fitness, Because I think Rudiger's safe for playing twice. I just don't know if James is. But obviously, if James plays twice, he's a much better option than Rudiger. I just don't know how confident I am in that right now. I think the fact that if he'd started today, I'd be a little bit more confident. But the problem is now he comes on. Will he play in the FA Cup? If he does that mean he's going to play twice in Game Week 28? I think we need to wait and see, to be honest. St. Maximin and Willock or Jimenez and Fraser. Any thoughts on Coutinho captain? Is he the best captain? I don't know if he's the best captain, but I think he's pretty good. I think he's a pretty good captain. St. Maximin and Willock or Jimenez and Fraser. Do you know what? I don't, out of that combination, I'd probably go for the double Newcastle and just get the extra fixture. Would you captain Kane? Not this week, no. Into 3k rank with me, Pope, and Veghorst captain to play. Very, very nice. I mean, that's a guaranteed green arrow from here. I don't think you can have 3 Burnley, especially when one's captain, and get a red arrow at this point. It would take something mad, like own goals, red cards, and all that kind of stuff. Cody, Walker-Peters, or Rudiger? Pick 2. Rudiger and... I'm going to say Walker-Peters. He seems pretty nailed. Southampton fixtures are quite good. If Southampton get a game in Game Week 30, then I think definitely Kyle Walker-Peters, to be honest. If you can do Tierney to Rudiger, I can't. No. Oh, if I could, would I do it? Maybe. Yeah, I'd be more up for doing Tierney to Chelsea than Van Dijk to Chelsea, to be honest. The thing is with Tierney, because I'm always worried about Tierney, whether he's going to keep starting or if he's going to get injured. I also don't have any European matches, though, to be honest, which is good. I don't think they have any cup matches. Are they out of the FA Cup? Yeah, of course they are, because they're playing in Game Week 30. So they're out of all competitions apart from the Premier League. So if Tierney can't make it through that, I don't know what he can make it through. So yeah, possibly I would do it if I could afford it. I've only got 0.7 in the bank though, so I could only get up to Thiago Silva, and I just don't want to go there. Would I remove Livramento if I had him for a Wolves defender? No, because Livramento possibly now has his place back. I guess Perot missed one game, and then maybe he was back on the bench just because he's only just back, maybe. But I would say Livramento's probably got his place back now, so I think I'd have him. He's cheap. You could bench him this week if you. Sorry, you could. You got him for the double, and then he's got some pretty nice fixtures. I think if Southampton get a game in Game Week 30, I'd be looking at Livramento. Gerrard said he wants to play Watkins and Ings together. Doesn't bode well for Coutinho. In what way? You think that Coutinho just won't score as well, or you just don't think he's guaranteed minutes? Possibly. Could be right. Asma gang, where are we? We're right here. Best 3 Liverpool assets for double game at 29. Who will play both? I mean, probably the best 3 are probably right now Salah, Trent, and Robertson. And I guess if you're worried about Robertson maybe missing the game, you could go Van Dijk. But Robertson just got a rest. And these are harder games, so I think he'll play both. Again, you can see what happens in the FA Cup. Tsimikas will probably play the FA Cup. And then against Norwich. And then Robertson will probably play both games in 29. So I think the best 3 right now are Salah, Trent and Robertson. I don't think there's really too much argument about that. Like, you could put Jota in now, but there's still Diaz. Like, the fact that they've done fine with Diaz, Mane and Salah as the 3 means that Jota is a bit of a rotation risk, I would say. Plus, you don't know how soon Firmino's going to be back either. A -12 to bring in Son, Jimenez, Saiz and Tierney and then bench boost. I don't know about a -12 just to bench boost. The thing is, I guess Tierney, Saiz, Son, and even Jimenez and even Son are possibly good options going forward, but I don't know if I would do all that just to bench boost, to be honest with you. Corey Hasgo, member for 16 months. How are you? Why are you thinking about bench boost? Because I've just wildcarded and I've got a good bench, basically. I think that there is a chance that I could get to game week 36 and still have a good bench. But it's too far away. It's too much time. And if, for whatever reason, my players on my bench start getting injured, I've got to start spending transfers on that just to get the bench boost working. I just don't think it's worth it. I know 3 of the players don't have double game weeks, but they're good fixtures. Like Lacazette and Tierney against Watford, decent. Dubravka's got a double game week. Van Dijk's okay against West Ham. I'd rather just bench boost and have it done, to be honest. I don't think, like, a lot of people make out like the bench boost is this really bad chip. It's not a bad chip at all, but it does usually have to be set up. And Wildcarding in Game Week 26 and not bench boost until Game Week 36 just feels way too long. So I'd rather have the opportunity to free hit that week if I need to. So that's why I'm bench boosting. I will bench boost this week. Something mad would have to happen with injuries for me to stop it, I think. And even if I didn't bench boost this week, hang on, I wonder what the bench boost for me looks like in Game Week 29. Let's say I got a couple of injuries. If I got a couple of injuries and had to make a few transfers, like in Game Week 29, this would be my team, and the bench would be, the bench wouldn't be quite as good. I'd probably play Broya ahead of Sice. That would be my bench, probably. Sice, Ramsey, Luka Dean, Salah. So it's not quite as good. But obviously, I'd have a transfer to spend as well. So ideally, I do want to bench boost in Game Week 28. Us Game Week 26 wildcard is committed to free hit 27, bench boost 28. No reason to divert. Yeah, exactly. It was all part of the plan. And this isn't necessarily you shouldn't do something just because it's worked in the past. But in the last 2 seasons, I've bench boosted a single game week bench boost pretty much. I think I might have had a double game week goalkeeper last year, like this year, and then 3 single game week players last year, or maybe it was 2 double game weekers and 2 single game weekers. I can't remember. Saka was one of them though. Saka was one of my bench boosts. So I'm okay with doing it. I think it's very hard to evaluate and I find it quite difficult to explain, but I just think it's better to get the bench boost done with single game week players than it is to spend transfers doing it just for a double game week. Because I think if I wait now, I just get stuck trying to make transfers to double game week players, and then that's just waste of whatever. Transfers, points, whatever. Why am I wearing headphones? Because I'm listening to music. I can't understand people who are not free hitting this week. Why would I free hit? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 double game week players, and then Salah, Trent, Saka, and Son. I don't know why I would free hit. Game week 36 is likely to have much bigger teams doubling, like Man City, Liverpool again, probably Chelsea maybe. So I think if you're going to free hit a double, I feel like it's better to free hit 36. But I can't free hit anyway. That is true. I can't free hit back to back. But it's all going to be team dependent, right? There's no reason that I would need to free hit even if I could. I see some people still asking me why I'm bench boosting and not waiting until 36. Just rewind back like a minute. I just explained it. Are West Ham players a no-go going forward? No, I don't think so. I think Bowen's still fine. Quite handy that Bowen's blanked twice in a row when I got rid of him, though. That is very, very handy. I don't know why I'm suddenly getting loads of spam in my DMs. That transfer plan I was using is FPL.team. If you could do him and Essa Shearer in one move, I'd think about it, yeah. Do you think Palace are going to lose to Stoke, though? Do I think the idea of Game Week 31 wildcard or onwards, so 31 or 32, I guess, to set up for a later bench boost is overrated? Wildcard this game week looks like a great opportunity, but don't want to be burnt later down the line. I know it's so boring to hear, but it depends how well your team is set up right now. I think a wildcard after Game Week 30 could be really decent, to be honest. And the bench boost in Game Week 36 could also be really decent. So if your team's already well set up, then happy days. It's like I said last week, the real winners of Game Week 26 were those that took big hits to set up for double Game Week 26, double Game Week 28, and double Game Week 29, so they didn't have to use their wild card. If you didn't take those hits and you didn't bring in those players that have got games in all those weeks, then maybe it's a bit different. Obviously, some of us wildcarded hoping that Salah wouldn't smash us, but he did smash us. So that hasn't helped, but I guess we're kind of well set up now. I think if you're close to a team like this without a wild card, I'd probably save the wild card for Game Week 31 or after. Do you think this year has been a bad FPL year? Double game weeks are good, but there have been too many. I mean, it's I think it's I don't know. I don't know what my opinion is on this. Double game weeks are good, and this does people are always complaining about how boring FPL is, and then things diverged in game week 26, right? A lot of people still triple captain, some of us wildcarded, some people are free hitting this week, some people are wildcarding this week, I'm bench boosting this week, I'm going to triple captain next week when hardly anyone else will. I guess that is good for the game, but I've got to be honest, it's very easy for me to play it because it's my job, but if it's not your job, this year it's just been so hard to get to grips with. And it's like all the game week 26 wildcard talk. At the end of the day, it was very hard to know what was going to happen after game week 30, and it still is quite difficult to know. So you just have to make a decision, just hope for the best. It's been a lot harder to plan, right? It has been a bit of a headache. Nothing like enough likes. Do I say like all the time? Well, like the video. Why not? It's 3,000 of you watching. Give the video a like. It'd be appreciated. Hit that subscribe button if you're around here. That'd be appreciated. Loz, that's not something you're getting DDoS by Russia. Take it as a compliment. You've made it in business when you're on a Russian list. Oh, jeez, I don't know what it is. It's all just weird stuff. The fastest way to earn $500. Whew. Amazing. I'm just blocking these people. You don't need to let me know. My screen is not blurry. Your screen is blurry. So I'd like to let you know your screen is blurry and you should change the resolution on YouTube. I free hit this week. Well, in game week 27, I don't regret mine. It is what it is. It wasn't as good as we hoped. That's FPL. This isn't fluff. It's just like a little, lion type thing on the jumper. That's all. I can't speak Spanish, I'm afraid. Azara, how's it going? You're right about making decisions and finding time. There's also the concept of making points where you can too. So free hit and wildcard are fine if one made points. Yeah, and I guess with free hit 27, it wasn't quite as good as we wanted, but is what it is, right? Is what it is. I don't like Coutinho as an option. I reckon Rafinha or Willock or Havertz are the ones to go for. Coutinho has bad XG and only took shots from outside the box. Yeah, I don't think his number. I think someone was saying that on Twitter to me. His numbers haven't been fantastic so far. I'm just having a look now. So his XG per 90 so far this season is 0.3. And 0.22 expected assist. I mean, that's pretty good, right? That's 0.52. That's pretty decent. I don't know where I can see his XG per game though. I don't know if I can see it per game. I probably can somewhere, but I don't know where you see it. I don't know. I'm sure it's somewhere on there. It is what it is. It is what it is, yeah. It is what it is. It is what it is. Went big on Southampton players, Broya, Adams and Livramento, and it's paying off. Is that game week 27? If so, fair enough. That was nice. Madison versus Leeds in game week 28 is good. Yeah, I mean, from what Ben was saying, if Leicester, I can't remember what he said, but essentially there's a scenario where Leicester have 3 double game weeks from game week 33 to 37 or something like that. So they'll have 9 games in 6 game weeks. I think it included game week 38. But then he also said they might not really have much to play for in the Premier League, so it's a bit difficult to know exactly who to bring in from them. Am I keeping the faith in Rafinha? Yeah, I think so. What do you think about a Villa triple up? Maybe. I mean, I don't mind Ramsey because he's cheap, right? So he can be on the bench most weeks. Luca Dean is maybe okay. I don't know. Luca Dean, I really hope he gets a double-digit haul because I always laugh about him never getting one. So if he could get one while he's in my team, I'd be happy. You would have scored more points on the free hit game at 19 if the site didn't crash than this week if you compare points. Yeah, but if you remember, I actually did all right out of the website crashing in the end. It's not really about... You got to remember, it's not about the points difference between 2 free hits. It's about the points difference between the teams you would have had. But even then, it's like impossible to compare because I literally made my Game Week 26 team so that it wasn't good in Game Week 27, so that I had to free hit. So I haven't even checked what my team would have got if I hadn't free hit, because ultimately it doesn't matter and I don't care. New Leeds coach is renowned for high pressure on the offensive, but zonal and deeper on defence. So that might be a good thing for them, to be honest. I mean, they're leaking goals left, right and centre. They have been smashed by like the good teams, though, right? I think they've been doing okay-ish against teams in and around them. Triple captain, Chelsea defender, possibly Rudiger if Chelsea get 28 double. No, I don't think triple captain. I'm putting my triple captain on Salah in 29. I know the fixture's a bit harder, but I think it's got to be him. Ramsdale, Livermore, Kilman, Trent, Ramsey did a little bench. Yeah, should I take a -4 to swap Weghorst for a double game week striker? Honestly, if Weghorst ends up playing game week 30, I'd maybe keep him. To be honest. I mean, who would you get anyway? You got Kane and Broya. And you're benching Weghorst. So if you take a -4, it means you then got to bench someone. I mean, your team kind of picks itself, right? You've got to play all the games that have got a double. I mean, Cancelo's got Man United, right? It's at home. I mean, they probably will win. Wherever he gets a clean sheet, I don't know, though. I don't like benching him, but I don't know if I'd bench any of your players ahead of him. When's the next best time to use Wildcard? I've got about 5 double game week players in 28 and 6 in 29. 3 hit and bench who's left. Yeah, you're probably just better off saving it for game week 31, 32. In game week 29, there's Ramadan, so Salah might not play both games. I'm pretty sure he hasn't missed any games because of Ramadan before, to be honest. If I'm wrong on that, let me know, but I don't. I think this comes up every year. I think Fofana, from what I remember last year, missed some minutes, but I don't think he missed too many games. But Salah just played all the way through, as far as I know. Last thing I need is Salah going off early because of Ramadan when I want to triple captain him. I mean, at the end of the day, the Premier League is tight. Brighton and Arsenal are tough games. I do not see Salah getting rotated for either of them. I just don't see it. Liverpool are only 6 points behind Man City. They've got a game in hand as well. When do Liverpool play Man City? It's after game week 30, isn't it? Game week 32. That's going to be such a huge game. Such a huge game. As long as they keep winning. Because this is not an easy run here at all. I mean, Liverpool are great, so they'll probably be okay, but it's not easy. Chris Wood, I'm jealous of anyone that's got him. Yes, Fofana was, but Salah wasn't. I said that. That's literally what I said, right? Also, unless I'm wrong, I'm not saying they do this, but unless I'm wrong, because they are athletes, right? Their job is to play football, whatever. They're allowed to eat if they want, I think. Again, I could be wrong. Please let me know if I am. But I think if they wanted to, they could. I'm not saying they do, but if they wanted to, they could. Fasting starts April 3rd. So April... Really? That's after these games then. What's the problem? Ramadan begins on Friday the 1st of April. So he's not even gonna be fasting here. So this is nothing. So, and again, I'm not an expert on this, but I'm pretty sure they can. I just don't. I think they choose not to because they're working. Yeah, exactly. I'm not. Yeah, we don't need to get into this, right? But they can. I just don't think they do. Just don't think they do. So we're all good. Top 3 captaincy picks this week. Do you know what? I don't know. I would say if maybe a Chelsea defender, maybe Rafinha, maybe Coutinho, something like that. Maybe a Southampton player, honestly. What's the criteria for getting on the wall? Well, the criteria is, do I want him up on the wall or not? That is basically the criteria. I got to be honest, if Salah beats his 303... Oh, sugar, I didn't mean to do that. If Salah beats his 303 record this season, he's definitely going up. He probably does deserve to go up anyway. What's Salah on now? He's on 209 points. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 fixtures to go. And he's on 8.7 points per game. So 8.7 times 12 gives him 104 points. 104 points, and he's on 209. So that put him on 313. So he would beat his own record of 303 points in a season. I kind of hope he does it, because that'd be cool. And then he'll probably have to go up on the wall because he will be the greatest FPL player of all time. Better than Henry, better than Lampard, better than Ronaldo. It'll be Salah. And I'm just talking about FPL. I don't want to get into a conversation about actual football and who's better. But just for FPL. Just for FPL. I'll triple captain. Ramadan starts April 2nd while Game Week 29 is still in March. Boom. Yeah, exactly. Sheriff, exactly. That's what I just Googled. 5 seasons in a row over 200, he should be on the wall. He probably should, yeah. But again, I decide. So, is it worth getting a Chelsea double game week player for a player of one game this week if bench boost is the plan? Yes, as long as that player then doesn't have a game next week, right? Because if you're taking out a player of a single game with a double next week, you're not gaining a fixture, really. Maybe it's better if you're bench boosting that player. But just all I would say with a bench boost is put the realistic players on the bench. The realistic players. Like, I would probably play Ramsey with a double over any of those outfield players on my bench. I think it's realistic. I think my players that are playing are Salah, Saka and Trent and Son with single game weeks. I think I would play all of them ahead of those 3 players on the bench. So you've got to have because otherwise people are like... Otherwise people just like do this. And they're like, oh yeah, look at my bench. Look at my bench. It's oh no, maybe not Salah. Yeah, maybe Salah. They'll be like, oh, look at my bench. It's so good. So good. Trippier was fit. Would you go for him? No, I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. Right. So with Ramadan, as far as I know, there's obviously a big period of fasting and they can have a meal then at sunset, I think, or at night or something like that. Again, I'm not pretending to be an expert, but if they have a job or they're working like an athlete, they are allowed to eat for their job. But most of them choose not to do that. And as far as I know, that is correct. So I'm not saying Salah will do that, but I think he has the option if he wants to. Either way, it doesn't matter. I'm triple captain in Game Week 29. Let's worry about Ramadan when it actually starts. Okay, I said they still fast. I said that. They choose not to. I'm saying they could do if they wanted to. They could do. Taking shots at press? No, not at all. Not at all. Although I do disagree with how he had his bench out, but he'll change it anyway, I'm sure. It should. I only put a realistic bench boost so that I can compare it, like, for how it works. Okay, look, whatever. I'm not talking about it. Exactly. Ramadan almost never makes a difference for FPL. It was only really for Fana last year. Okay, fair enough. I got it wrong. I don't care anymore. Is Watkins a good option this week? He is if he plays twice. He is if he plays twice because that's really too good. That is two damn good fixtures. Chelsea midfielders. You're probably looking at Mount as the best option, I think. If Havertz keep playing, he could be decent too. Okay, I'm reading up about Ramadan now. Fasting is an individual decision and exceptions can be made when travelling away from home or if a person is unwell. Okay, fair enough. Either way, Salah's going to smash it. I will hold my hands up. Let's worry about captain later on in the week. I don't think captaincy is really the main worry right now, right? Show your dog. She's probably sleeping downstairs. She's probably sleeping downstairs. Is it worth getting 2 Chelsea assets, Mount and James, or Luka Dean plus 1 Chelsea asset? I think with Chelsea, it all comes down to what your expectations are for whether they play both games. And that is the big problem. And I don't really have an answer outside of there is a chance they don't play both games. Like Mason Mount is usually pretty nailed. But he missed like the Man City game, for example. So he played like 90 minutes. Mason Mount's played 90 minutes all the way from game week 14 all the way till game week 23, apart from 1 week. So he's pretty nailed. But if he missed one game, would it be a massive shock? Would be maybe a slight shock, but it could still happen. I think you should play Lacazette. Nah, who would you play Lacazette ahead of? I think Lacazette on the bench is realistic, to be honest. Well, he hasn't been nailed recently because he's been injured, hasn't he? I mean, Alonso again, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm overthinking rotation because Alonso would be great, right? If I thought Alonso was going to play both games, he's only 5.6 million, so I could get him in for Tierney. But is Alonso going to play all those games? I just don't think so. I don't think Mount had a shocker. I do think he missed a couple of good chances, but I thought he played pretty well otherwise. Were you making a video on what to do if you don't free hit game week 30? I mean, it would probably be tied into other videos, but basically bring players in that are playing a game week 30, right? With doubles. Yeah, of course. Rudiger's nailed for sure. 2 free transfers. Diaz to Rudiger or Luka Dean. Probably Rudiger if they get the double. Zaha to Coutinho. Mount or Willock. I think Coutinho. Weghorst to Wood, Adams or Broja. Will free hit in 30 and wildcard in 31. Weghorst to... I'd go Adams. Get the 4 games. Wood. What's Newcastle... Oh, yeah, they get double-double. I don't know. Chris Wood or... I mean, Adams and Broja, I do like as options. I feel like I'd take the extra game out of Chris Wood. If Salah gets you more than 9 on triple captain, you should put him on the wall. Yeah, I do need more than 9. Imagine if he doesn't get more than 9 for like the 6th year run or whatever. Then I'll really not forgive myself for not triple captaining him. Yeah, I'd be tempted by Chris Wood out of those options, to be honest. Nick, my prediction is that when Game Week 30 comes around, people will be back on the free hit strategy. They'll want triple Leicester at home to Brentford. Nah, I don't think that's the case. It's not going to... Like, most people, if they're targeting Wolves, Rafinha, Villa, Arsenal, they're probably going to have 8 to 9 players at a minimum. If there's any kind of upset, that's probably more players. If Southampton end up losing to West Ham, a lot of people have Broja, a lot of people have Livramento. It will not be worth free hitting to get triple Leicester. It just won't be. So I think that prediction's incorrect, I would say. like if I was free hitting, I would get 1 or 2 Leicester players, maybe even 3 for that Brentford game. I'd maybe even get a Brentford attacker, to be honest, for to play against Leicester. But I don't think it will be worth free hitting. I will say I'm 99.9999% certain I will not change to free hit that week unless a bunch of players were to get injured or something like that. I mean, if anything, we should be looking at Brentford players to go against the Leicester defence. Please keep Ukrainian people in your prayers. Absolutely. I hope this whole stupid situation, I mean, stupid is an understatement, by the way, will just stop soon. I wish Bamford was available. Yeah, Bamford would be great. And the thing is, if Bamford was available, he'd be a good option, but also it would make Rafinha better as well. For sure. Is it 9 points? Yeah, so the most I've ever got on triple captain is 9, like tripled into 27. Not 3 into 9. Yeah, no, I know I can't free hit. But I don't want to anyway. All right, I think we will leave. I think we'll leave the FPL stuff there. I got plenty of videos planned this week. Do not worry. We'll talk about wildcards and stuff like that. I know a lot of people have been asking for them. If there's anything else you want to talk about for a couple of minutes, we'll do that, and then we will end the stream. Make sure to give it a like, by the way, if you enjoyed it. Hit that subscribe button as well if you're new around here. That would be ideal. One thing I wanted to share, actually. Hang on. Excuse me. Where is it? Let me share some of these links if you want to donate for what's happening in Ukraine. Let me just put this in here. I'm just going to spam a bit. What was the other one that someone gave me? No, I think that was it. What's my favourite cereal? Do you know what? I don't know about favourite, but cornflakes are always classic. I used to like clusters too. Clusters are good. Do I have a second team that you support? Like, I don't know about support. Definitely not. But I would say, like, I always like hope that Bristol Rovers will do well. What's your OnlyFans account? No OnlyFans, I'm afraid. No, Arsenal will almost definitely not get a double in 28 now. In fact, I think it might be impossible for that to happen. I think it would have had to have been Chelsea, and Chelsea will play Norwich if they don't play in Game Week 30. You know Jason Fung, MD for intermittent fasting. I've probably watched him. Yeah, I think I know who you mean. I've been on a protest with over 120,000 people in Berlin today. War really sucks. Fair play to you. Fair play. There's been loads of protests everywhere. Why Rovers? Because basically, like, most of my family support Bristol City, and my granddad supported Rovers, so I kind of just took his side because everyone else supported the city. So I used to live near Bristol. That's where I was born. Who's your favourite Bundesliga team? I don't really have one, to be honest. Tried experimenting with free hit 30 and couldn't come up with a team that doesn't leave more than 10 million in the bank. Wow, that shows how not worth it is. I don't think that makes it not worth it for what it's worth. But I don't think it will be worth it for most people. To be honest, I have the captain on Salah. I think, to be honest, a lot of people will probably captain Salah this week if they're not too happy with the double game week players. The gas. I don't know if you could call me a gashead, to be honest. Some of my mates have got like season tickets. FIFA career mode, nah, not really. Do I go to Kerry much? Every time I go to Kerry, I go to Killarney and I get ill. Like I've been like the most ill going to Killarney. I don't know what it is. It's like 2 or 3 times. Well, I've only been like 4 or 5 times, and like 2 or 3 times I've got like proper ill. Like, up all night being sick, and it's not from too much beer or anything like that. I promise you, because it was just away with family. In fact, hardly any beer, to be honest. So I've got like this thing against Killarney, just because of that. I haven't played Elden Ring. Tell me about Elden Ring, right? I'm really bad with games, RPGs and stuff. I just don't keep up with them. But is it hard? Is it hard like Demon Souls and stuff like that? Because I've got no time for those kind of games, to be honest. I just do not have the patience. It's getting a lot of good reviews, though. A lot of good reviews. If it's like super hard, I'm not interested. How much can you squat, bench, and deadlift? I've got no idea, to be honest. But at one point, I might try it. I'm interested to know, because I must be stronger now than I... Why does the screen go white like that? Make sure you have a spare controller. Yeah, it doesn't sound like that's for me then. I've never travelled to South Africa. No current plans, to be honest. I haven't got really plans to go anywhere right now. Oh, it has an easy mode. That's what I need. What site did you check that Robertson was never a sub while Simicast played? I don't know if I did. I don't know if I did check that. Did I? I've stopped playing chess. To be honest. As a Man United fan, have you been screaming at the TV during the games? The Watford game was so frustrating, honestly. Like, we should have won. It's really annoying because there's only so long you can keep saying the performances are there, we're just not getting the results. At some point, you need to get the results, right? Elden Ring. Oh, God. Elden Ring isn't as hard as the others, but it's still difficult in place and would take time to get used to. Yeah, it's probably not for me. Probably not for me. I don't need that in my life. I don't need that hard game stress. Have I ever been to Fermanagh? Don't think so. Second favourite sport after football? I don't know. These days I just don't watch hardly any other sports, really. I mean, it probably used to be tennis and cricket. I used to watch a lot of cricket. Test cricket, T20 or whatever. And I used to watch a lot of tennis, but I can't tell you the last time I watched like a tournament of tennis the whole way through. Definitely not rugby. I've never been a fan of rugby, really. F1, no chance. Very boring for me. Very boring. Thoughts on the best sitcom, Only Fools and Horses? I love Only Fools. I still watch Only Fools and Horses now. Still watch it now. Nah, I got no interest in Formula 1. Zero. Cycling? Nope. Golf? Nope. NBA? Nah. Not really interested in any of the American sports, for this. Boxing? No, don't really care about it. I mean, I'll jump on the bandwagon if there's a big fight, but that's about it. Cricket and tennis, probably. I used to watch a lot of snooker as well. Never got into Peep Show. Alright. I am WWE. I used to love Jeff and Matt Hardy. Okay. Thank you very much. I'm off now. I'm back tomorrow with some more videos. And all this week, of course. Yes, we'll cover the wildcard, all that stuff. Give it a like if you enjoyed it. Hit that subscribe button if you're new. And I will catch you again tomorrow. Goodbye.